Hello everybody, this is Matt Alessandrini coming to you with our next CPS Screencast. Last time, if you were following these screencasts, what I showed you how to do was to create a new class and to give those class different names for students on this CPS Screencast. Now this week what we're going to do is I'm going to go ahead and show you how to create a teacher-directed lesson using the clicker system. Alright, so let's go ahead and get started. Once you go ahead and double click on your CPS, you're going to go ahead and find, again, you have those three different tabs: Prepare, Engage, and Report. We're going to go ahead and focus today again in the Prepare tab, so make sure you click on that Prepare tab. Then you're going to notice there are a couple more tabs underneath here. We have Classes and Students. We worked on that last time. Today, go ahead and make sure you're clicked on Lessons and Assessments. Now, once you click on Lessons and Assessments, you should notice that there is a title right here, a folder with a name right here. Mine says Ohio _Able _111.cps. Yours will probably say CPS of some kind. This is going to be your basic folder. This is what I just decided to name it. Now what I'm going to do is, if you notice, if I click this little plus sign, you're going to notice that I have a whole bunch of different folders already, and I've actually already created a folder for this lesson. I'll go ahead and show you how to create a folder right now. What you're going to want to do is you're going to want to make sure you're clicked on your main top folder. Again, the Ohio Able _011.cps. That's going to be my main folder. Again, yours is going to be named something else, but this is what mine's named. Okay? Again, if I click that, this is basically what we're going to see. I'm going to go ahead and click on New. Now this comes up. I have the choice between Fast Grade Lesson, Folder, and Scanner Session. I want to go ahead and click on Folder. So I'm going to go ahead and click on Folder. And this box comes up. It says Folder Details. It's folder name, and it has New Folder. Let's go ahead and call this, I'm going to call this German. I'm going to click OK. Now, you're going to notice that if you did this correctly, you're going to notice that our folder came down here. Again, I have a lot of folders created already. You're going to have your first folder right here. Now, what you're going to want to do to actually create a lesson inside this folder, because basically what we have just done is we've created a place to put all of your lessons in now. So let's just say if you teach a class of German. I know that nobody teaches German in Lincoln View, but let's just say we did. Somebody teaches a class of German. You click on here, and all of your classes, all of your quizzes for German are going to go in here. Let's just say you teach another class of Spanish. All of your lessons would go in here. For elementary, I teach language, spelling, math, and a whole bunch of other different things. Each of those different lessons go inside a different folder. You can create as many folders as you want to. For this case, we're just going to have one. Now, to go ahead and create a lesson inside of that folder, what you're going to go ahead and do is make sure you click on that folder. Okay, this is very, very important. If you click on Ohio Able again at the top again, the lesson's going to come up in a completely different place. You want to make sure you're clicking on the folder where it's going to go in. So I'm going to click on that folder. I'm going to go back up to the green plus sign to New. I'm going to click on that again. Now this time, I have a whole bunch of different things I can put in. I can go ahead and say Fast Grade Lesson, Folder, Question, and Scanner Session. I'm going to go ahead, if I want to create a new lesson, I'm going to go ahead and create Lesson. Not Fast Grade Lesson. That's completely different. Lesson. We'll get the Fast Grade Lesson later. So I'm going to click on Lesson. Okay, and give it a few seconds. Now this pops up. Okay? What we're going to have, it says Title. What we're going to go ahead and call this, we'll go ahead and call this Nouns. Description. You could put a description in here if you get really, really specific. I usually don't put a description because my descriptions usually come with the title. I'm usually very specific. But let's just say this is going to be first, if I can spell first correct, first test on nouns, or first lesson on nouns. And then a unique identifier, this basically, don't worry about this. Down here it says I usually keep all answer types. Again, we'll get to more of that later. And then about associated file, you can browse. Don't worry about that. What I want you to really think about is your title and your description. I'm going to go ahead and click OK. Now, if you did this right, you're going to notice now that next to your folder where German, you should notice now there should be a plus sign or a minus sign. If it's a plus sign, that means, hey, there's something underneath, there's something inside that folder. I'm going to click that plus sign, and oh, here comes my test for nouns. So then, here's what I have to do. If I want to go ahead and create questions for that test, here's what I have to do. I have to, again, make sure I'm clicking on the program or the folder or the thing that I want to go ahead and put my stuff in. Now be careful. You don't want to click on German this time. You want to click on nouns because you're going to be adding questions to your nouns test. Now I'm going to go ahead and do this. I'm going to go right back up to my plus sign. I'm going to click on that plus sign. Now I'm going to come down to where it says question. I'm going to click on question. Now this pops up. This is your basic template for creating a question. Now, I'm going to go ahead and later add in a screencast to show you what all of these extra little features do. But for now, all I'm going to do is give you the basic rundown. The basic rundown are the basic features. Now, what you're going to do up here in this big rectangle up here, this is where you're going to go ahead and put your first question. And let's say your first question is, you could say, what is a noun? This is the question that your students are going to be answering. You have a whole bunch of different choices. Right now, we have 3 different choices. Let me go ahead and show you one of those little features. If you come up here, it says MC3. That means there's multiple choice between 3 of them. Let's just say you want a little bit of a different one. Let's say this time you want multiple choice of 4 or multiple choice of 5. You can come all the way down. There's a whole bunch of things. You could say true or false, yes or no, performance questions. We won't get into too many of those. Let's just say we want multiple choice of 4. And we could say, what is a noun? We could say it is. And here, oh, by the way, these are our different choices. You're basically going to want to have one of the choices correct for the correct answer, and how many other blanks you have left over, those are going to be your incorrect answers. So let's just say, let's put in a not correct answer for a noun. Let's just say it's an action. Let's say for letter B, we want to call it it's, oh, let's just say it describes a person. We know that's definitely not right. Let's just say a noun is a person, place, or thing. And of course, that is our correct answer. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and put a little check on that box C. And finally, my last thing, let's just say our last incorrect answer. Let's just go ahead and say it's a, oh, let's just say it's a tasty or delicious filling for a taco. Sometimes I like to give them silly answers. It just kind of keeps it a little bit more interesting. Okay, obviously that's definitely not right. So right now, guys, make sure again you've clicked, because I've done this before, make sure you click the box where the right answer is. If you don't do that, you're going to have problems when you actually go ahead and do the test. So we've done that. Okay, now what we're going to want to do is we're going to want to save it. Now if you wanted to, you could click the save button right there, but I find to kind of make things go a little bit more, they'll go a little bit quicker, a little bit more fluidly, I click the save button up here with the arrow. What it does is it saves it. Let's give it a second. Again, sometimes I'm asking the computer to think a lot because there's so many programs going on right now, but it is saving it right now. Sometimes, again, it just takes a little bit of time. And again, what I'm going to do is when, here we go. I'll go ahead and tell you exactly what all these other buttons are for. But anyway, we just saved it. So now, I want to go ahead and create another answer. I could say, which of these is a noun? We could say jumping. Of course, that's not right. We could say hopping. We could say a frog. And we could say leaping. And of course, only one of those is the noun, so I'm going to go ahead and click on C again. Okay, but let's just say this time we want to go ahead and make this a little bit bigger. So I want to go ahead and click on it. I'm going to highlight it. To highlight it, all you got to do is you got to go ahead and look where the little cursor is. You want to click and hold down on the left mouse button. Go ahead and scroll right across there. Highlight it. If I want to make it bold, click on the B, make it bold. If I want to italicize it, I can italicize it. If I want to underline it, I can do that. If I want to put a line through it, I can do that. Okay, so there's a whole bunch of different things you can do. If I want to change the color of it, I can go ahead and click on that red and we can change the color of it a little bit. If I want to go ahead and change the size, I have a couple sizes I can change from. Let's just say we turn it to a 26. There we go. So these are all just different things you can do right here. Again, more of those other ones I'll go ahead and show you. But anyway, I don't want all those extra things, so I'm just going to go ahead and undo that, undo that, undo that. Going to make it there we go. Make it black again. And there we go. Alright, so then you finally have all this taken care of. Let's just say you're done, you're completely done, you've checked everything. What you're going to do finally is you want to save it one more time. This is when you actually want to go ahead and click this save button, is when you don't create any more questions. So I'm going to go ahead and click that save button. You can give it a second. Now I know that it's ready to go, so I'm going to go ahead and X out of it. If you did it correctly, if you don't have anything to save, it'll just X right out. Now you're going to notice, if you click on where it says nouns, you're going to notice, hey, here are my two questions right here. It tells you the multiple choice type, multiple choice 4. It has a difficulty setting, and we'll talk about that later. This is more, difficulty setting is more of an assessment for you to show, okay, is this question going to be hard or not? In standards and categories, we can talk about those later. So then finally, let's just say you want to go ahead and edit this. Making sure you're still in Prepare tab, Lessons and Assessments. If you go ahead and either make sure it's highlighted and click the Edit button, or you can go ahead and double click it, it'll come back up and it'll show exactly what you're doing. Okay, let's just want to edit. Otherwise, I don't really want to do that. Okay, so that is how you create a teacher-led lesson. And we're going to go ahead and I'll go ahead and show you later what these teacher-led lessons can do for your class. I hope you found this informative. I hope you found this helpful. Again, going towards using those clicker systems here at Lincoln View. Take care and have a good day.